If you have ever tried to build interactive video, you already know how slow and messy the workflow can become, especially when you're stitching together video editing, audio, slides, and branching logic. In this video, I'm going to show you a practical workflow that combines PowerPoint Clipchamp and H5P to create sophisticated interactive video, faster, cleaner, and with far less manual friction. I'll demonstrate this using a real branching scenario that I built earlier, a penny drop learning experience, so you can exactly see how this works in practice. Let me show you a redacted version of an H5P interactive experience I built earlier. As it plays, notice the simple PowerPoint animations, the AI voiceover generated in Clipchamp, and the branching questions and feedback handled by H5P. Every part of this workflow uses tools that are free and readily available to educators.
Alex has just returned to teaching first-year university students. The course focuses on critical thinking and media literacy, skills that require judgment, reflection, and active engagement. How should Alex begin designing learning activities for this mixed cohort? Should she rely mainly on lectures and guided discussions, adjusting her delivery for online students? Should she add short interactive moments to lectures without changing the overall structure? Should she consider a structured way to design learner responses that can work online and in class? This is the best option. Alex sees potential in structured learner responses, but is unsure how to design them well. The challenge becomes how to make thinking visible without adding complexity. You may go back and explore the effect of the other options.
The big idea is very simple. PowerPoint, Clipchamp, and H5P are all you need in your toolbox to build high-quality interactive video. Each tool does one job well. PowerPoint for structure and visuals, Clipchamp for narration, and H5P for interactivity and deployment. When you combine them, the entire workflow falls into 4 clear steps. Step 1 starts with your learning goal. Choose the topic you want to teach and then design a story with a number of decision points and multiple choices at each point. I like to think of each decision point as a small subplot in the story, where the learner must make a choice before the story continues. You decide how many decision points you want. That is your X. And how many choices you offer at each point. That is your Y. The larger these numbers become, the more complex and rich your interactivity will be. In this example, I wanted to teach some instructional design principles for online learning. I asked ChatGPT to generate a story around a character named Alex, who needs to make a series of design decisions about the materials he's teaching online. When I prompted ChatGPT, I specified exactly how many decision points and choices I wanted. You don't have to use ChatGPT, of course. If you enjoy writing your own stories, that works just as well. I've included a copy of the prompt I used in the free mini Moodle course linked below. The first decision point introduces Alex and the problem. One of the choices then leads to the next decision point, and the story unfolds from there. Once the structure was clear, I created a series of PowerPoint slides with simple animations to tell the story. At this stage, I didn't worry too much about timing. The voiceover that we will generate in the next step will drive the pacing later. Step 2 is to generate the audio and bring it into your PowerPoint slides. I use Clipchamp for this. It comes free with Windows, so most educators already have access to it. Simply copy the text of your story into Clipchamp's text-to-speech tool. Choose a suitable voice, adjust the settings if needed, and generate a narration. listen to the result and save the audio. I usually create one audio clip for each PowerPoint slide or subplot, which means returning to Clipchamp a few times, but the process is quite quick once you get into the rhythm. Back in PowerPoint, insert the audio clips into the relevant slides and set them to play automatically with previous when the slide appears. This is also the moment to fine-tune your animation timings so that visuals align naturally with the narration. Once each slide is running the way that you want it to, export your slides as MP4 video files, typically one video per branch or decision point. One simple way to do this is to temporarily hide the slides you don't want and to export the presentation as a video. Step 3 is where we assemble the interactivity using H5P. I usually work inside Moodle, where I add a new activity and select the H5P editor. But you can also create H5P content through the content bank or using the Lumi desktop app. Use whichever environment is most convenient for you. Once you're in the editor, choose branching scenario and make sure your libraries are up to date. If an update is available, H5P will prompt you. This canvas is your storyboard. It's where the entire interaction is visually mapped out. For our purposes today, the two most important elements are the video element and the branching question. You can build branching scenarios entirely with text if you prefer. And if you're new to this, starting with text and questions is often a good way to learn the logic. Drag a video element into the canvas and enter the details. Depending on the size of your project, you may prefer to host videos on a platform like YouTube rather than uploading them directly. Hosted videos keep your projects lighter and easier to share. Each element on the canvas is called a branch, including the branching questions themselves. Two ideas really matter in branching scenarios. First, the flow of the story is driven by multiple choice questions presented to the learner. Second, every branch, including each answer option, has something called advanced branching options. This is where you define what happens next. These settings determine how the learner moves through the story, including which video or question appears next. The fastest way to learn branching scenarios is to explore working examples. You can download the Alex scenario I showed earlier and load it into your editor to see exactly how the branching is configured. I've linked the free mini course where you can access it in the description below. Step 4 is deployment, getting your interactivity into the hands of learners. If you created your interactivity inside a learning management system and your plan is to deploy it there, then your job is already done. If you want to display it elsewhere as well, you have two easy options. Option 1, copy and paste the iframe code generated by H5P anywhere that accepts HTML, a website, a blog, or even another platform. Option 2, download the H5P package file and share it with other educators. They can upload it into their own H5P environment and even adapt it for their own context. And that's it, from idea to interactive learning asset, using nothing more than PowerPoint, Clipchamp and H5P. If you'd like to explore this workflow hands-on and learn what a penny drop experience is, I've created a small free learning space where you can experiment with real examples, download templates and see how these pieces fit together in practice. You'll find the link below. You can explore at your own pace, and if you'd like to go deeper later, there are guided projects waiting for you as well.